Hi, I'm Jackie, and I met Sam through Run Disney. Used to love busting my chops. Used to love the sarcasm because you can't have sarcasm without the Sam. I'm a July baby just like him, and we spoke the same language when it came to stuff like that. So one of my favorite memories was the Princess 10K in 2016, and Sam would always go to the Boardwalk Bakery to go and cheer us on with a smile, some treats, and a hug. And our group decided to do a Little Mermaid theme, and I was dressed like Ursula, full face paint, white hair, the whole nine. Run up to Sam, and he wasn't the most receptive that he normally is. He was just kind of like, hey, yeah. And I figured, okay, he just didn't want my face paint to get all over his really cool ski race jersey. So find out a little bit later during breakfast that he just didn't recognize me with under all the face paint. So guess who got to bust his chops? Me, for once. I was very happy about this. Sam, my brother, I love you. I will miss you. Godspeed.
Good afternoon. My name is Jill Hardy, and I met Sam and Kenny about 42 years ago when God crossed our paths at church. I've never known anyone who could have a caring heart as big as Sam's, who could also unmercifully harass and make fun of me with all the sarcasm he could conjure up, especially the short jokes, and yet I would walk away feeling loved by him. I'm currently sitting at Sam's seat at the board table. Sam invested 26 years as a board member for the Octorara School District, an unpaid, mostly thankless, sometimes stressful, elected position that Sam dedicated many hours each month of those 26 years to make Octorara a great educational opportunity for students. He knew Robert's Rules of Order like no other and made sure we were following the correct protocols in conducting the business of the district with fairness and integrity. He wasn't one who enjoyed belaboring any issue, and if you ever had to give him presentation with Sam at the table, you knew to make it brief and to the point. Sam's dedication to the students, staff, and the Octorara community was just another attribute of his caring heart. Last year, we had a student lose both legs in an accident, and when that student walked across the stage in his temporary prosthesis to receive his diploma, which Sam, as a board president, was privileged to present, Sam not only cried, he ugly cried. Because through all that sarcasm he displayed was a compassionate, caring man. I sometimes gave him special name tags at his place at the table, mostly as a result of the antics he had done or something he had said that month, such as, Mr. I'd rather be skiing, Mr. Not good with names because he could never pronounce them, Mr. I think I'm funny, but I'm really not because he thought he was, and the best, of course, Mr. Sarcasm. As soon as he sat down, I saw him take a picture of them, and those nameplates appeared on Facebook, trying to make people think, oh, look what Jill has done to me now, but I knew he liked them. I will miss Sam at the board table. His shoes will be hard to fill. I will miss Sam at church and the many other roles that Sam filled. The role I will miss the most is Sam as my friend.
My favorite Sam Ganow story. When Heather and I first moved back from Colorado, I think this was probably 2003, we were at a ski race at Denton. It was actually my first race in PA as a TD. I TD'd out in Colorado, but this is my first time in PA. Lou Fowler and his crew did an amazing job prepping the hill, but there was not a lot of snow. And I spent the whole day on a shovel. And the race went well, and on Monday morning, Sam called me and said, Bruce, I've never seen a TD work as hard as you. I said, I appreciate that, Sam, and the feeling is very mutual. Sam and I hit it off from that moment on. Shared a work ethic and a passion in ski racing, and I will always remember and appreciate that. So it's not just another day, it's another day without Sam, and that is a huge bummer and a hole that will never be filled. But we're going to make it another day and another ski race in your honor. Love you, Sam. God bless you, and God bless the Ganow family. I know this is a hard time for all of you, but you've got this entire community here to help you anytime. Just pick up the phone. Love you all. God bless.
Hello, my name is Stephen Arce. My wife and I and family were missionaries here in Venezuela, and we were one of the fortunate people to get to have the joy of experiencing Sam and Kenny's hospitality. And Sam for us was just a great guy. He was amazing. He took us out. He would come home and ask about our day like if we were one of the kids. We had never met anybody like him before. He was just incredible. And to see his life, all the things he did, and then to be able to take the time and invest in us and spend some time in our family was just a joy. And from our heart and our family, we wanted to say we love you guys, and he will be greatly missed.
I met Sam when he invited me to stay at his house for a race weekend at Bird in Hand. There were about 10 to 15 other people staying there, and I only knew one other person. He loved telling that story because, as I always say, as I drove through the cornfields of rural PA, I had no idea where I was going, and I heard banjos, wondering if I was headed to a murder house, to a strange man's house in the woods. I met some amazing people there that weekend, though, and that weekend was the start of an amazing friendship with Sam and his family. Him and some other friends invited me to Run Disney that year, and the rest has sort of been history. I have fell in love with Run Disney immediately, and he has been part of my marathon weekend every year since. It's going to be hard to imagine what a race weekend will be like without him. Sam was always there for me in times when things were hard for me, and I remember when I was going through a particularly hard time, I called him and I was upset, and he immediately said, "Come stay with me." And I did. I ran away to his house, and him and his lovely wife, Kenny, took me in and took care of me for the weekend. That's how I will always remember Sam. Just always full of kindness and love, and the type of man who would take his shirt off of a back for anyone, leave his house open, leave his car open for everyone, because he always wanted everyone to have whatever he had. I love you, Sam.
So how do you spell sarcasm without Sam? So that was one of Sam's most famous sayings, and every time I think of Sam, that's what I think about. You know, Sam was such a joker. He had a way of walking into a room. If you didn't know Sam, eventually you would. And even if we were at a show or a restaurant or pretty much anywhere, Sam was going to be your friend whether you liked it or not. So he was going to find you and just talk to you. He wasn't afraid to talk to anybody, and he just wanted to spread joy, love, and laughter. Sam was such a huge part of my life. I learned so much from him, and I'm really gonna miss him, but I know he's in heaven. I know he's flying with the angels right now. I'm just so grateful and so blessed to have Sam in my life and part of my life. Just gonna miss you, buddy.
I first met Sam through Rebuild Rescue, and we became friends very fast, like we were friends for years. Not long after, he asked me to come dog sit for him, and here it is a year later. I still live in his house. So over the year, I've asked him for all kinds of advice. He was never quick to give an answer of what to do, but more so to teach me how to make the right decision. And I really appreciated that. But he taught me a lot about aviation. We flew together, we worked on a simulator, and he was always happy to teach. And that was one of his greatest aspects, was, you know, teaching and bettering people. And I'm forever grateful for that. Since I've been here in his home, his family's taken me in kind of his family. I became an honorary Ganow, and that just means the world to me. So it's going to be hard, but we're going to honor him and just remember him as he would have wanted.
Let me tell you how I met Sam. I was still in high school, and Sam was attending Laterno College, and it's now called Laterno University. But for some reason, I was up on the campus for a basketball game. And as I was sitting there, I had my bag of popcorn, and I was just watching the game, and these two guys come walking in, and I knew one of them. His name was Bob, And Sam was with him, and he introduced me to Sam, and they said, can we sit down here with you and watch the game? And I said, sure. And so we're watching the game, and I got popcorn, and I said, would y'all like some? And everybody took a big handful, and we're eating the popcorn, and Sam goes, this is chewy popcorn. And I go, oh no. I said, well, Sam, sorry. I didn't know I was going to be sharing with anybody. And before I started eating my popcorn, I spit my gum out in there. And as we all know Sam, and he just took it in stride and just finished swallowing his popcorn. And I'm not sure he ever shared popcorn with me again.
Hi, I'm Jim. Sam and I went to college together, and we were in the same major, so we took classes together. We flew together. We double dated because our wives were roommates. And we worked together, driving ambulances while I was in college. But Sam lived in the fraternity house next door to the one that I lived in. And in my house, we had a pet African gray parrot. And African gray parrots are the best imitators in the world of sounds. Sam knew this, and so every time he would walk into our house, he would hit the test button on the fire alarm, and that loud blaring sound would go off. Well, soon the parrot learned how to imitate that. And every time that Sam was around, you could hear the parrot imitating the smoke alarm.
Back in December, our family had a family emergency that we needed to fly to Alabama, and we were trying to get a commercial flight, and being the week before Christmas, we were having a hard time getting to where we needed to go. And I called my buddy Steve and was telling him about our situation, and yeah, I wasn't sure how we were going to get down there. And about half an hour later, Steve called me back and said, hey, I called my dad, and he really wants to take you guys down to where you need to go and to do it for free for us. And that was a really big surprise, and it was truly one of the greatest Christmas gifts we've ever received.
We really enjoyed his insight and just his listening ear as we were just struggling through some stuff with our family, and he even called a couple days later just to check in. It just shows his heart and his love for people and love for God, and his sense of humor the whole time that we were in the car going to and from where we had to be in Alabama. It just, his comments and just his antics and how friendly he is with everyone is just, it was just truly a blessing to just get to know Sam a different way.
So I first met Sam through Run Disney. I don't even remember when or where, but I know we've been friends at least since 2012. Early in our friendship, I lost power for a week with 3 young children at home when Hurricane Sandy knocked the power out of our neighborhood. And most people would check and see if we were doing okay with no power for a week. Sam took a different approach. Sam would send me memes of Amish people sarcastically telling me how sorry they were to hear that I had no electricity. The lesson that I learned from Sam was whenever I started to feel sorry for myself about something that had happened was to replace self-pity with a little bit of sarcastic humor, because I know that's how Sam would want me to handle it. And so now whenever I'm going through a hard time, I think, what funny, sarcastic meme would Sam send me to get through this moment? And that is the memory of him I will take forward.
So when I first started going to Faith Bible Chapel with my family, well, I was young, definitely. I first walked in the doors, I was like, okay, this could be good, could be bad. And then Sam just came right up to me and started talking. And I was like, well, this is definitely not going to be bad, because if he's always here, then this is just going to be good. And over the years, it has been. And after the plane crash recently happened, it was sad, but fortunately, it was his time to go.
So I've been friends with Sam for many years. Sam goes to my church, and Sam's taught me a lot about the Bible. We've prayed for each other over the years. We've learned a lot together, and I consider Sam as being one of my good friends. But Sam was ornery. He had a wild side to him. He did, yeah. He told me one day, he calls me up and he says, hey, Bill, you want to go flying? And I said, sure. So he goes, okay, meet me at the at the hangar and we'll go up in the plane today. So I did. I met him there, and we had this little crop duster plane. And he goes, we're going to take this thing up. And I said, there's barely room for 2 people in that thing. I goes, oh, no, this is fun. This is a fun plane. So we get it out to the runway and we take off. And I said, Sam, I said, this was my mistake. I said, Sam, don't go crazy, because I don't like rides or roller coasters because they kind of make me sick to my stomach. So if you don't mind, just, we'll just take it easy. And he goes, yep. And we went up and we went all around, and we ended up going over to where I work, and we were building a new shop at that time. And he goes, hey, he says, there's your shop down there. And there was a pettibone up. And I said, hey, I think the guys are working. I said, I wonder if I didn't even finish my sentence, and the plane went into this, I don't know, straight down flying towards the barn, out of control. My stomach goes like gone, like I was getting sick. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's giggling. And by the time we got down there was nobody in the pettibone. It was just up for the weekend in the air. And we just go right down, hugging the tops of the barn, and then he comes back up, and I said, you have to go back to the runway because I am going to get sick. And he is just laughing like crazy. He goes, oh, did that bother you? Oh, did that bother me? I was like out of it. So yeah, Sam was like that. Sam had a good funny side to him.
Sam liked to laugh, but I think my favorite Sam laugh was when he was laughing at something he knew he shouldn't be laughing at. That guilty smirk was classic Sam. He was also extremely generous, like let one of his son's best friends move in and stay for years, essentially adopt him minus the paperwork, sacrifice his finances, time, and love, caring for him as one of his own sons generous. He didn't have to do any of that. His abnormal actions, his beyond comprehension generosity, is distinct because it was based off his confidence in God. Thank you, Sam. God used your faithfulness to rescue me.
Hi, my name is Donna. I've had the privilege of knowing Sam for about the last 9 years or so. We ran together at Disney often, and from there, friendship has just grown and evolved, and was a great thing, a really great thing. Couple of things that just remind me of Sam and make me smile when I think about him is, as most people remember, his sarcastic wit. And I knew Sam, or he knew me before he knew my husband, who is also a pilot, and I knew that they would share some commonalities and get along pretty well. So finally, when I introduced Sam and John together, Sam never failed to tell me pretty much every time after that he liked John a whole lot more than he liked me. And that was why he was gonna come and spend time with us doing whatever. And he always said it with a smile on his face and a little twinkle in his eye, but that was Sam. The other thing he did was, I recently became a grandmother, and as much as I love that little girl, I have basically forbidden anybody to call me grandma. And I go by Dee Dee, and he knows that. And yet anytime I would mention my granddaughter or post a picture of her, I knew my phone would start beeping and there would be the text from Sam going, hi, Grammy, hi, because he knew it would drive me crazy. He was a special man, and I think one of my favorite memories of him was when my husband had to have some surgery. He broke his arm, and it wasn't a big deal, but it was still surgery. He was being put under and all that kind of stuff. And Sam said, Donna, I'm gonna come down and sit with you when John goes into surgery. And I was like, you don't need to do that. I'll be fine. And he goes, Donna, I'm coming. And I lived in Maryland at the time, and I had plenty of friends who lived 5 minutes from me. None of them offered to do that. And Sam drove 2.5 to 3 hours to come sit with me so that I wouldn't be alone when John was in surgery. And that's the kind of person he was. There were countless other times that I experienced his goodness and friendship and simple generosity. But that was a really special time for me. Lastly, I shared the belief that Sam does, that heaven exists. And so I have the hope of seeing him again. And that's a really good thing. Love you, Sam.
More passionate. That's not the best what we're saying.